Awesome, cool. Okay, guys, pretty simple week this week. We're going to be talking about what we're doing on this week's reading assignment. It's real simple, and then carrying on. But before we do anything else, I wanted to give a shout out to a few people who went really awesome last week. So, really awesome, I mean, on their study letter, because your study letter doesn't go into your home learning log. So some of you might be thinking that I didn't see them, but I did. So I'm just going to comment on it. Taylor, Daniel, and Oscar, unbelievable work on your study letter. Xavier, Matthew P, Jai, Sophia, Ella Drummond, Gemma, with a J, Josh, Cooper, Ben Stockton, Ben Polden, awesome. If you're not on that list, you may have still done them. But what I want you to do is I want you to take time when you're doing these. I don't want you to rush. People, I looked at everybody's, and some people seemed like they were doing the task like 5 times, and the first time they were only getting 2 out of 10, but they only took 50 seconds to do it. That's what I call rushing. Take your time. I'd rather you only did it twice, but it took you, or once, but it took you 5 minutes to do. This 1 minute to do it and getting 2 out of 10 is not what we're supposed to be doing. Cool. Okay, so let's look at this week's literacy assignment. Really simple. Here we go. So it says that's where the link for the video will be. What you should have done before week 3 work. What you should have before starting week 3's work. Okay, you should have your introduction. There's my introduction. And 2 full paragraphs explaining 2 of your 3 whys. Some people only chose to do 2 whys. That's okay. In your planning, you chose 2 whys. That's fine. You'll only need to do 2 of your 2 whys. Here's my 3 whys. There's this one, and then my 2 of my 3 whys. I haven't done 3 of my 3 whys. So I've got an introduction and 2 whys. So that's how long it should be. I'm going to read it through for you so you can get a feel of what it sounds like so far. 42% of teens care more about their Instagram feed than their school reports. Is that shocking to you? Well, it's not to me. Not only do I believe that children under 14 should be banned from social media, I believe social media for adults should only function 5 days a week. That gives us time to enhance our real-life connections. I despise social media because it takes away from family time. That's my first why. Is causing a worldwide obesity epidemic, my second why. And my third why has a negative effect on our ability to communicate in real life. Now, I know you want to hear more, so let's kick into it. Then these were the paragraphs that I wrote last week, which was social media takes away from family time. So that was my first why, and it needs to be super clear in this paragraph, which is an essential part of modern society and contributes greatly to what makes us human. I'm not saying that everybody needs to stop using social media, but a huge reduction in social media for teens needs to be actioned to reduce the impact on the family unit. And then I give the example, so that's my statement and then my example. Have you ever tried to ask your older sibling for help with schoolwork and all they did was sit on their phone and looking at Instagram? The impact on the family unit, it impacts the family unit many ways. Not only does it cause greater stress for your parents, but because they need to help you, your bond with your sibling is weakened because it makes you feel less important to them. The next thing I go on to the second why. My second why is how it's causing the obesity epidemic. I've just written this just before. Social media is one of the leading reasons children are not engaging with sporting opportunities in 2020. Now, to some people that might sound a bit exaggerated, but a recent study by Harvard University states that the average teen spends less than 15 minutes exercising and more than 4 hours on social media every day. Now let's put that in context. The World Health Organization recommends a maximum of 1 to 2 hours of screen a day. How often have you heard someone say, I just don't have time for exercise? Now, where could you find that time? So why is this such a big deal? The leading killer in modern society is the obesity epidemic and its relating illnesses. Imagine what you could do if you had an extra 2 hours a day. Yes, that's right, you could exercise, and exercise is the key to reducing obesity. So that's my second why. So before I went on to, so my first task one, write your third why out. Pretty simple there. Use the same TEE format. I should actually make that capital. T dot E dot E that you used last week. Simple stuff. Okay, once you've done that, you're on to task 2, your conclusion. Conclusions are super simple, guys. They're just a backwards introduction. So your introduction starts with a hook, then you state your main points, and then you leave them with a statement that wants them to read further. Your conclusion is the other way around. Conclusion is bring them out of the body of your writing with a statement. So here's my example. By now you understand that social media must be banned from children under 14 because, so I'm bringing them out of the body of the piece of writing. Then the opposite, so my hook's going to be last, my statement's first, and my 3 points are in the middle. So now I've got my 3 points again. So I started with the bringing them out of the body and with a statement. Then I've got my 3 points. Now, I don't want to say them exactly the same as I've said them the last 2 times I've said them. I want to just sort of reword them a little bit. So this one I've got, it destroys the family unit, is causing a rapid growth in obesity and reduces our abilities to communicate in person. So I basically said those 3 points just again. So I'm doubling down, and then I leave them with a hook. Before social media, the average American lifespan was 78.7. It is now 78.3. What if this trend continues? I'm going to add, and it's all because we keep running out of time due to overuse of social media. See, so I've exaggerated that, but I'm just trying to button down my point of view. So that's all it is. I know a lot of this is exaggerated, and as I said, this is not necessarily my point of view for real, guys. This is me just trying to sort of help articulate what I'm saying, you know. So don't take what I've said as gospel that this is exactly what I think. I love elements of social media, and I believe you could argue either side of this quite easily. Cool. So, last thing that you have to do this week. These are your study ladder exercises for this week. I've assigned them. I think I'm actually gone to year 6 work for this. So it might be a little bit harder, but try your best. Okay? That's it. Super simple week. Third paragraph, third why, and then your conclusion. If you look at the conclusion as actually a paragraph, if I pulled that, I'll put it down here just so you can see what I'm talking about. That, this, and this. So it's one of the smaller paragraphs again. So at the end of this week, you should have 3 body paragraphs, 1 introduction paragraph, and a conclusion paragraph. You should have a complete piece of writing. I'll write on that my conclusion. No, not perfect. I haven't finished that up. I just sort of pasted my points together from my working just so you can sort of see where I was going with that. Okay? Awesome. Oh well, hope you have fun with that, and I'll see you later.